When the shelter door opened that Tuesday morning, nobody expected what came through it. A white and gray cat, so large he could barely walk, was gently placed on the exam table. The scale blinked. 38 pounds. The staff exchanged shocked glances. This wasn't just an overweight cat. This was a life hanging in the balance. His name was Marble, and what happened next would change everything. If you've ever wondered whether one person can truly make a difference in an animal's life, stay with me. This story will answer that question in ways you never imagined. And if you're someone who believes every creature deserves a second chance, you're exactly who needs to hear this. The Animal Care Center had seen big cats before, but Marble was different. His white coat, streaked with soft gray patches like clouds, should have made him beautiful. Instead, it highlighted the massive weight pressing down on his small frame. He couldn't groom himself. His joints ached with every tiny movement. Walking 5 steps meant collapsing for rest. "How does a cat get this big?" a volunteer whispered. Nobody had the answer. What they did know was this: time was running out. Marble had been surrendered by his previous owner. No explanation, no goodbye. Just a cat who had been loved into dangerous excess, then left behind when the problem became too big to handle. The shelter staff immediately posted his photo online, hoping someone, anyone, would see past the shocking size and recognize the gentle soul underneath. That someone was named Rachel. Rachel was scrolling through her phone during lunch break when she saw him. The image stopped her cold. A white and gray cat, eyes half closed, body sprawled across a blanket that barely contained him. The caption read, "Emergency. 38-pound cat needs specialized care. Time sensitive." Her heart didn't just break, it shattered. Within 30 minutes, Rachel was on the phone with the shelter. Within 2 hours, she was filling out adoption papers. By evening, Marble was riding home in the back of her SUV, the only vehicle large enough to transport him safely. "I don't know if I can do this," Rachel admitted to the shelter director. "You're the only one who tried," came the quiet reply. At home, Marble met Charlie, Rachel's senior tabby, and Daisy, her energetic terrier mix. Daisy wagged her tail so hard she nearly knocked over a lamp. Charlie hissed once, then retreated to observe from a safe distance. Marble, he just lay there, breathing heavily, unable to process the change. Rachel set up a comfortable space in the living room. Low walls, so he wouldn't have to jump. Food and water within easy reach. A soft bed that actually fit his enormous body. She sat beside him that first night, gently stroking his fur, whispering promises she wasn't sure she could keep. "We'll do this together," she said, "one day at a time." Now here's where it gets interesting. Some people say cats this overweight should be put on strict, fast diets. Get the weight off quick. Others argue slow and steady wins the race. What do you think works better? Rapid weight loss with strict control, or gradual change with patience and play? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what you believe. Rachel's veterinarian, Dr. Chen, chose the gradual path. Rapid weight loss can damage his liver, she explained. We need to be smart, not fast. The plan was simple but strict. Measured portions, no treats, and the hardest part, encouraging movement without hurting him. Every day, Rachel played with Marble, 5 minutes at a time. A feather wand, a crinkly ball, anything to make him lift his paw, shift his weight, take one more step. At first, he barely moved, but Rachel didn't give up. Then, Charlie did something unexpected. The old tabby, who had kept his distance for weeks, suddenly pounced on Marble's toy. Marble's eyes widened, his paw shot out. He missed, but something sparked. For the first time since arriving,
Marble wanted to play.
Weeks turned into months. Slowly, the scale showed progress. 38 pounds became 36, then 34, then 32. Each pound lost was a victory, celebrated with tears and photos. Rachel documented everything, sharing updates online. Thousands of people followed along, cheering for a cat they'd never met. Around month 4, something magical happened. Marble jumped. Not far, just onto the ottoman, but Rachel gasped so loud that Daisy started barking. Marble looked startled by his own accomplishment, then settled down as if jumping onto furniture was something he'd always done. "Did you see that?" Rachel called to no one in particular, laughing through tears. "He jumped!" By month 7, Marble weighed 26 pounds. He could groom himself again, he could climb the stairs, he could run, actually run, chasing Charlie through the hallway. The white and gray cat, who once could barely walk, was now living the life he'd been denied for so long. But the transformation wasn't just physical. Marble's personality bloomed. The quiet, defeated cat became playful, confident, even a little mischievous. He'd knock Rachel's phone off the counter just to watch it fall. He'd steal Daisy's toys. He'd curl up with Charlie like they'd been brothers forever. One evening, Rachel sat on the couch with Marble sprawled across her lap, purring so loud the sound filled the room. She thought about the family who surrendered him. She wondered if they knew what he'd become. Part of her hoped they did. Part of her hoped they understood that letting him go was the greatest act of love they could have given him. Today, Marble weighs 24 pounds and still dropping. He's healthier, happier, and proof that patience changes everything. He's shown Rachel and everyone following his story that transformation isn't about speed, it's about commitment. But here's what Rachel won't tell you yet. There's something about Marble's past that recently came to light, something that explains everything. And when you hear it, you'll understand why some rescues aren't just about saving a life. They're about uncovering a truth that was hidden all along. When the shelter door opened that Tuesday morning, nobody expected what came through it. A white and gray cat, so large he could barely walk, was gently placed on the exam table. The scale blinked. 38 pounds. The staff exchanged shocked glances. This wasn't just an overweight cat. This was a life hanging in the balance. His name was Marble, and what happened next would change everything.